Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Be English podcast. I am John Miller.
Hi, friends, and I am Emily Carter. We are so happy you are here with us today.
That is right. If this is your first time listening, let me tell you a little bit about our show. Here at the Be English podcast, our goal is to help you learn English in a simple, fun, and encouraging way.
Exactly. Learning a new language can sometimes feel difficult. I remember when I tried to learn French in high school, it was really tough. But here, we take it step by step. We speak slowly and clearly so you can easily follow along with us.
Yes, we want you to feel relaxed and comfortable. And before we begin, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow, and you will never miss a new episode.
So, John, what are we talking about today? I am super excited about this topic.
Well, Emily, today we're talking about daily habits that help you improve your English. You know, those small things you do every single day that make a huge difference over time.
Oh, I love that. I think people often believe they need to study for hours and hours every day in a classroom to get better, but actually, small daily habits at home are much more powerful.
Absolutely. So let us jump right in. One of the best ways to start is right when you wake up in the morning. I like to call it the morning English input.
Haha, morning English input. That sounds very professional, John. What does it actually mean?
Well, it just means listening to or reading something in English during your morning routine. For example, when I wake up in my apartment in Seattle, the first thing I do is make a cup of coffee. While I drink my coffee, I read a short news article in English on my phone.
That is a great idea. For me, I am not a big reader in the morning. I'm usually rushing to get ready for work. So I like to listen to an English podcast or some English pop music while I'm on the subway here in New York.
The subway can be so noisy, but that is a perfect way to use your travel time. We call this a commute. Your commute is the trip you take from your home to your workplace.
Yes, my commute. While I'm on the train, just hearing the rhythm of the language helps my brain wake up. Even if you don't understand every single word, your ears get used to the sounds of English.
Exactly. You could listen to a weather report, a sports update, or even a podcast like ours. The key is to make it a habit. You do it every single morning without even thinking about it.
It's like brushing your teeth. You just do it. Now, as the day goes on, there's another habit that I absolutely love. It's something you can do anywhere, and you don't need a book or a phone.
Oh, what's that?
It's talking to yourself in English. Or, just thinking in English inside your head.
Talking to yourself? People might think you're a little crazy, Emily.
I know. But you don't have to do it out loud if there are people around. You can just do it quietly in your mind. Let me give you an example. When I'm at the supermarket buying groceries, I look at the items and name them in my mind. Apples, bread, milk, cheese.
Oh, I see. That's brilliant. You're using the vocabulary you already know in real-life situations.
Right. And when I'm cooking dinner in my kitchen, I'll explain what I'm doing, like I'm the star of a cooking TV show. I'll say, now I'm chopping the onions. Next, I will fry the chicken.
Haha, Chef Emily in the kitchen. I really like that idea, though. It trains your brain to stop translating from your native language. When you translate, it takes a long time to speak. But if you practice thinking directly in English, you become much faster.
Yes, exactly. Another way to do this is when you're walking down the street. Just describe what you see. The sky is blue today. That's a tall building. A yellow taxi is driving by. It's so simple, but it builds a lot of confidence.
It really does, and it shows you which words you don't know. If you're walking and you see a fire hydrant, but you don't know the word for it, you can look it up on your phone later.
Exactly. Which brings us to a great evening habit. John, how do you finish your day?
Well, after a long day of work, I like to wind down. Winding down means to relax before going to sleep. And a great English habit for the evening is keeping a small journal.
A journal, like a diary?
Yes, exactly like a diary, but you don't need to write pages and pages. Just keep a small notebook on your nightstand, right next to your bed. Before you turn off the light, write down 3 sentences about your day in English.
Oh, just 3 sentences? That sounds very easy. Anyone can do that.
Exactly. You could write something very simple. For example, today I had a good sandwich for lunch. I worked hard at the office. It rained in the afternoon. That's it.
Oh, I love how simple that is. Writing helps you practice your grammar and spelling. Plus, when you write, you have more time to think about the words than when you're trying to speak fast.
Right. And if you do this every night, after a month, you'll have a whole book filled with English sentences that you wrote yourself. It's a wonderful way to track your progress and see how much better you're getting.
You know, John, I used to do something similar when I was visiting London last year. Every night in my hotel, I wrote down one new word I learned that day. Just one word and its meaning. By the end of my trip, I had a great list of British vocabulary.
That's a fantastic habit, Emily. Learning one new word a day means learning 365 new words a year. It all adds up so quickly.
Wow, we talked about some really great habits today. Let's quickly review them for our listeners so they remember everything.
Good idea. First, we talked about the morning English input. This means listening or reading something in English, like the daily news or a fun podcast, while you get ready or travel to work.
Yes, during your commute. Oh, that was a good vocabulary word we learned today. Commute is the journey you make to work every day.
Perfect. Then our second habit was thinking or talking to yourself in English, just describing the things around you, like Chef Emily cooking in the kitchen.
That's right. Don't be afraid to be a little silly. It helps you think directly in English. And our final habit was keeping a short evening journal, just writing 3 simple sentences about your day before you go to sleep.
These habits are small, but if you do them every single day, your English will improve so much. Consistency is the real secret. You don't need a lot of free time, just a little bit of focus every day.
Absolutely. Well, friends, that's all the time we have for today's episode. We really hope you try these daily habits and let us know how they work for you.
Yes, please leave a comment below and tell us which habit you're going to start tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the Be English podcast and share this episode with your friends who are also learning English.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, friends. Have a wonderful day.